Everyone's a critic these days. For whatever reason, the second we as wrestling fans decide to enjoy the sport, we feel the need to criticise exactly what we love. We ask for hours of wrestling, we receive it, yet we're not happy. But why? Because clearly we could have done the whole thing better than a team of writers who are more qualified than we are. Obviously. And here's why I present to you 10 wrestlers who need a different match at WrestleMania. Why? As a wise man once said, because I'm a smartass. Number 10, American Alpha. As of right now, the SmackDown Tag Champs aren't booked in for a Mania match. It's fair to say that since their debut, Gable and Jordan have been incredibly bland. They were booked incorrectly for the Tag Team Turmoil match at Elimination Chamber, where they were given no sense of value or worth as champions. To really push them into credibility, they could do with a win over a non-American team to really push the patriotism that can conveniently lie in their gimmick. If only the League of Nations still existed, a win over the likes of Alberto Del Rio and Wade Barrett would really promote them in Orlando, especially if they had banners and streamers and eagles and stuff. Number 9, The New Day. It's a new day! No, it isn't really. So, ladies and gents, we have our WrestleMania hosts. The most profitable threesome for merchandise since Alvin and the Chipmunks. The former Raw Tag Champs have had a very quiet series of months. It seems as though WWE doesn't particularly know what to do with them after their inevitable championship loss to Cesaro and Sheamus happened, and so they've decided to milk their gimmick rather than actually develop them as wrestlers. All three of the stable are incredibly talented, and so it seems a shame to not feature them on the card in a wrestling capacity, especially since, you know, they set the record for the longest tag team championship reign in history and stuff like that. So perhaps an impromptu match on the card is called for. Otherwise, brace yourself for the plugging of many more New Day products in the months to come, such as Booty Fruities and Booty and Sweep. Number 8, Alexa Bliss. Let's face it, Alexa has been one of the standout call-ups from last year's NXT draftees. Not only has she ramped up her in-ring game, her character is as defined as her resting bitch face. Whilst it is a shame that Naomi isn't the one carrying the SmackDown Women's Championship into her hometown of Orlando, Florida at WrestleMania, fans know that Alexa is the woman for the job. However, as one of the most rounded and promising female talents, putting her in a championship scramble match could really cause her to be lost in the shuffle. Or the scramble, if you will. Rather than just having singles matches on SmackDown against her, WWE could have really developed the rivalry between herself and Mickie James, as the Richmond native has a phenomenal in-ring presence and could elevate the Wicked Witch of WWE to new career heights by giving her a much-deserved win at WrestleMania. Number 7, Sasha Banks. The boss has had a slow and rather confusing rush of momentum recently. Bouncing off the back of her Nia Jax feud, a lot of people, including myself, figured she would jump back to her former heel status after interfering in Bayley's matches. However, to just casually interfere illegally in championship matches between her best friend and Charlotte, and not have any consequence? Sasha's role at WrestleMania seems questionable and illogical. Perhaps we will see the payoff of a heel turn the Monday after Mania, but ultimately doing this before WrestleMania would have built up a much needed sense of gravitas for the big match. Having Bayley as the only babyface in a triple threat match would encourage the audience to fully back her, as since coming to the Raw roster, her character seems somewhat overlooked and she needs a new boost to relaunch herself again. Number 6, Neville. No doubt that Neville vs Aries will be a standout match right from the beginning, but what if we flip-reverse the matches between the SmackDown's Women's match and this, making this a championship scramble match? This could really highlight Neville's King of the Cruiserweights gimmick. Picture this. If Austin Aries was removed from the match and hypothetically didn't debut in ring till after Mania, a giant clusterfudge of cruiserweights like Rich Swann, Jack Gallagher, TJ Perkins, Tajiri, Noam Dar and Brian Kendrick go against Neville. and the Geordie Juggernaut beats them clean in a match full of flip-de-wops, hoppity-skips and ruffle-line 540 start splats. The current Cruiserweight champion can assert his dominance over the division and then open the floodgates for debuting Aries to challenge him on the next 205 Live, possibly even for the title. Number 5, Kevin Owens. We all knew that Jericho vs Owens had to happen, as the feud has been leading up to this point for roughly 7 months now. Two of the most popular superstars on the roster deserve to have the spotlight to themselves. However, due to the push for the Goldberg vs Lesnar match, Raw's top talents have been pushed down from one of the main events, devaluing Jericho's US title, as well as the potential the athletes have to deliver match of the night. If this match wasn't for the title, perhaps a loser leaves Raw match would give this rivalry the edge it needs to go out in style. We can only wonder what lies in store for the two in the future, but hopefully future main events go back to being the Kevin Owens show. Number 4, Braun Strowman. One of the most mishandled talents of the last few years, Strowman should have been having the same run that Bray Wyatt should have been having 4 years ago. Being built up as a monster heel for months, it seemed as though no one could stop the monster. Until Roman beat him clean. And I don't mean like a little bit grubby kind of clean. I'm talking Kim and Aggie brushing every sodding thing with lemon and bicarb of soda levels of clean. Whilst it seems inevitable that he'll now be placed in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal and go on to win probably, this Mania could have been the night where Strowman won his first championship title in WWE, and he could have solidified a monster status in the process for months and possibly years to come. Number 3, Roman Reigns. Despite Roman having the honour of facing the Deadman at Mania, this match is almost guaranteed to be a lose-lose situation. Should Undertaker surprisingly win, it will kill all momentum that Roman had previously got. Should Roman likely win, fans will go ballistic, preventing him from ever getting over with the wrestling smarks that populate the interwebs. You can picture now Vince McMahon readying a bottle of baby oil and rubbing his hands together at the thought of Roman finally being accepted at WrestleMania. However, he may be slightly disappointed with the result. One of the few ways to make this match work is to give the match an element of danger by perhaps turning it into a street fight or a no disqualification match, as this would create some difference between existing singles matches on the card, and if the only way Reigns can win is by pulverising The Undertaker with weapons, akin to how Stone Cold did to The Rock at WrestleMania X7, it could finally cement a heel turn which the Samoan desperately needs. Number 2, Goldberg. Yeah, sorry. The only thing that is wrong with the inevitable Lesnar vs Goldberg match is the fact it is over the Universal Championship. Whilst there's nothing wrong with Dadberg's return to WWE, having two part-timers headline the show buries the other performers on the show. Giving Lesnar a gimmick match to play with could really make this match more of a standout, such as turning into a last man standing match, where both competitors have to really dig down to not face a defeat as humiliating as that at Survivor Series. The last thing the fans want is a repeat of WrestleMania 20. And finally, number 1, the phenomenal AJ Styles. When Styles arrived in WWE at last year's Royal Rumble, I'd have thought him having a match against Shane McMahon a year later would be as likely as Eva Marie having a decent match full stop, but oh how wrong I was. There's no denying that Shane is courageous, but jumping off things doesn't really count as wrestling ability. Wasting AJ's extraordinary ability here seems horrific, especially when he could be having classic matches against the likes of Cena or Taker. Or seeing Styles against Kurt Angle in a technically classic match would be simply awe-inspiring. Hopefully Shane's charisma and Styles' phenomenal ability will make the match decent. But on the plus side, at least it's Shane involved at Mania instead of Stephanie. So that's my list. I hope you enjoyed. If you've got any thoughts, tell me down below in the comments. Like this video and subscribe to my channel to hear more from me, and follow me on Twitter right here. Until next time guys, tally ho and tatty bye.